Hello and welcome to Into the Toy Box. It's Sunday night. Um, Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I'm going to bring out my co-host, Beta Ray Bob.
Hello.
Hey Bob,
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah.
Um, have you had a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been really good. Busy, but good.
Are you
Lots
getting
of.
any of this rain from the
Oh,
hurricane?
yeah. Yeah, it's been raining off and on since about Thursday.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, I tell you what. So we have a couple of good guests on the show tonight.
we do.
We've got Timbo Toys. He's going to talk to us about his comic book shop, his 112 comic book
Hmm.
shop, and whatever else. And then we've got Starboy Station that is going to talk to us about customizing some figures for the month of October. So let's go ahead and bring them out. All right, so here is Timbo.
Hello.
Hello. Howdy.
Hey, and
Hey.
Joel.
Hello.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Excellent.
Good
So
deal.
far,
Good
so
deal.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem,
Yep.
man. Thanks for
Thanks for
coming
being here
on.
with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, um, Timbo, you're like in the Chicago area, right?
I'm near, yeah. I'm kind of near Chicago and Indiana.
Are you getting any of the rain from the hurricane?
We have not had rain here for like 20 some days.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we need some rain.
Well, it's we've I live in Arkansas, so it's been here. I was talking to Bob, so basically since pretty much before the weekend it's been raining on and off.
Yeah.
Um Now, Joel, I know that you're not close enough for the coast for that, but just so we're talking about rain, have you got any rain lately?
Not for a while. We're just getting all the smoke from California. It's very hazy.
Okay.
Mm.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple of friends that have been in the middle of that, and they had to evacuate for a couple of days, and then they were able to get back in their house. That's kind of scary to have that. Yeah. Anyway, so I tell you what, we're gonna let me pull up the pictures. Um,
Do we want to say hey to the
oh
chat
yeah,
first?
yeah.
Or-
Go ahead and talk to the chat while
All
I'm
right.
doing
Hey,
this.
chat.
Hey, so we got Bjorn here with our universal greeting.
Bjorn.
Hello.
Mr. Ian Sweeney is here with us today.
Ian, thanks for showing up, staying up.
And we got MCR
Hello.
Okay.
and Javalong
Howdy.
here with us.
Hey, have along. He's staying up too. Thanks. Um,
And I think that gets us
Gotcha.
going for right now.
Well, I know that,
Well,
like I said, I had originally this thing started for 7 p.m., which might have showed 8 p.m. maybe on YouTube potentially, but anyway, but people will find their way. Um, I have this picture here, Bob. I know you've been working on this, so how's it going?
oh, it's going good. I finished that up a little earlier today, or got it to the point that it's at now. This second section was just huge. And you can see it's like taller than the box that it came in. Uh, so yeah, Snake Mountain is getting there one brick at a time.
Now, is that both parts together?
Yeah. So that's section one and section two all together. Probably some chat here. Yeah, because so this would be like the first, I guess, half. So the other three sections that I've still got to do are like the back half, and then it folds out. So according to the box, once it's like folded out all the way, it's supposed to be like 24 inches wide.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to
Gotcha.
totally redo the shelves up here behind me to like make room for it.
Is that a Lego?
Sort of. It's Meg Constructs, but it's that same like Lego building block style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few of these over the years. Or I just to say I've had like some figures and stuff. I've never bought any of the sets. I just grabbed some figures here and there. Um, but they have a lot they've just got the GI Joe license, right, Bob?
Maybe that
Or
it.
yeah.
Nothing official has been said about that yet, so I'm still kind of on the thing. Like I've seen some pictures that have been leaked, and they're either like prototypes or they're really good customs. So
Gotcha.
yeah, until I see something officially that they're getting it. I mean, I want them to get it. I want them to get the GI Joe license. That would be awesome, and I could start collecting GI Joe again actively because I
Right,
don't get
right.
classified.
Yeah.
But
Um, yeah, I
but
was
yeah,
kind of
so hopefully.
I kind of liked what they did with Halo. I think I might have bought a Ghost or something like that just to build.
Mhm.
But I really didn't get a whole lot into it. But anyway, yeah, I saw where you've been working on that, so I wanted to post that because
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
it's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see the whole thing completed because it looks like
Oh
it's a
yeah.
crap load of pieces,
Oh,
So,
it is. It's like 3,800 or
oh my,
38 or two according to the box, but 3,800 is
my
Wow.
goodness, that's a lot.
yeah, it's
That's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
And it's like a lot of like little pieces too in some places to get some of like the detailing in and whatnot. So it's like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. 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 I imagine it's kind of like Lego in some ways, where you don't have small enough hands to get some of these pieces in there, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and some of them are like round, so you go to try to like pick
Mm.
them up, and they're
And go
just like
shooting out of your
slipping right out of
hands.
your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I like
Yeah.
the colors. I like the colors of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That kind
Yeah.
of purple and green.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like that. All right. Well, we're going to get into some of these pictures. I'm basically still learning how to, I guess, put together stuff for this show, and I've noticed that the tall pictures don't work as well as for this show as the wide shots do, and so I was trying to get this be the thing on Instagram, and I was like, yep, yeah, I can't do it. So I had to like basically make different pictures, completely like different pictures. And so anyway, I'm still learning how to do some of this stuff. Um, but so Timbo, I guess this was probably what came first, the comic books or the idea for the comic shop.
Definitely the idea for the comic shop. Had that swirling around in my mind for quite a while. So just, I was a little bit hesitant. Like, sometimes with world building, you can be a little hesitant to pull the trigger. Um,
Yep.
and
Hey,
so,
Pirates.
hey, pirates. But yeah, definitely had the idea before the comics came. I didn't really intend to make my own comics. I kind of had thought, well, maybe I could find some, online, like Etsy
Mhm.
has some, and buy them. But figured out kind of a way that to make them. So
Awesome. And this is basically 1/12 scale, is what you're doing this in,
yeah,
correct?
yeah. So
Yeah.
don't hate me.
No, no,
No,
no hate
no
here.
hate.
I just
We
for some reason that scale I've just kind of been enjoying doing some world building in that and with that. So Yeah, that's the start of it right there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to as far as I could. I did see you did have a rough draft on a piece of paper, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to add
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'll
Sometimes
get
I try to kind of sketch things out on paper just to kind of have my idea down to kind of see what it looks like, and
right, right.
so.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works. I mean, it's you know, um, so this is it. I guess at some point painted up.
Mm-hmm.
After that, where do you get your foam from?
I think I picked up my sheet of foam from Lowe's.
Gotcha.
Or
So
Um,
this may be a stupid question, but so I've been looking at getting some foam to start doing some stuff. What do you use to cut it?
I've got
Do you have
like a
like a
foam. I've got a foam cutter that you plug in and it heats up. And
okay.
yeah, that's what I use. And you can get ones with different attachments for different kinds of cuts.
Hmm.
There's like a couple different kind of like blades. You basically call them that heat up, and some that are for very straight, precise cuts. Others are more for kind of that jagged edge. If you kind of look at the front of that picture, I was using the one with that does more of the jagged edge type
Mm-hmm.
cuts. But it's certainly it's very easy. It feels actually every time I use it, I feel like Qui-Gon Jinn in Episode 1 when he sticks his lightsaber in that door and he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trying to melt through that.
well,
We got a question from Ian here about what sort of foam do you use?
It's the green foam. I don't know if that's XPS or it's not the pink stuff. That pink foam is a little bit different consistency to it. I actually have a piece. Let me go grab it real quick.
Oh, okay.
just just for the record, you can cut it with a box cutter, but it's not the best. Like a
Mm,
box, it's basically an inch thick, or maybe it's a little bit more than an inch thick. I'm not sure, but normally they'll sell these in like 2x2 squares at like
Yeah,
Lowe's, Home Depot, or something like that, and they call it kind of hobby foam. It's kind of what it's called. Um, and
this is.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Brian. I just
No,
say this is called Green Guard XPS.
oh,
Um,
okay.
Now,
and
Tim, is that a considered a craft foam or is that like an insulation?
it's an
Because
insulation
when they
foam.
when they sell it, like you buy it 2x2, or do you
You
buy
buy
it
this.
like
This is actually a 4x8.
okay, all right, so you buy the
Yeah,
full sheet.
yeah. The whole
And that
sheet.
is
It's
that
only
inch and a
like
half.
this is an inch, um,
Okay,
and it's pretty cheap. I want to say it was maybe like $8 or $9. But maybe wrong on that, but
for a four
yeah,
by eight sheet.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be like 40 to 60 here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So
Yeah, that's one of the
basically,
reasons I use it sometimes is it's cheaper. Um, and I don't know, sometimes feel like I have a little bit more control with foam than I do with wood.
Hmm.
yeah, I've got to get me one of those foam cutters. Um, the stuff that I buy is at Home Depot. I've tried the Lowe's brand, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm more comfortable with the Home Depot brand. It's basically like this, but it's
Is that the
another.
pink?
Yeah, it's pink. It's
Yep.
another like foot. I've cut this one like in half, pretty much. Um, World premiere, and I'll customize some of it for a later project. But it's really bad. Like I do have like a cutting pad, and I do have like a straight ruler. Um, but the box cutter, even though the blade is almost quite an inch, it's really tough to cut through there. And so I pretty much have to like cut the crap out of it on one side and then almost flip it over and like cut, to where I can get like a complete like cut through the backside of it too. And I've got it now to where I've sort of figured it out about how I can do it to where it works. But I mean, I could never get like a super straight cut. There's like jags and stuff I'm leaving in there, and so anyway, it's
Yeah.
the cutter has got to be a lot better than using just a regular blade.
Yeah.
And Brian, you
Um,
can run
Yeah.
sandpaper down that and get it to kind of smooth out.
Oh yeah. Well, if most people have seen my setup, they probably seen to where the edge of it is a little bit chunky, but it's not affecting anything because normally the flat side I'll flip it over and lay it on my ground section. So it's normally I have a flat piece where I need it, but yeah, that's a good suggestion for the to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, one of the things I do sometimes with my corners and edges, you can kind of see it in this picture, but there's a wooden like dowel rod back there that I painted silver, and I made it a pipe, and it
Okay,
kind of covers like the gap there
edge.
of
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Funny that
Good
you
point.
do that. Back when I used to just do my little canvas painted pieces that I would make as walls and stuff, whenever I'd put it like that, I would also put something in the corner on the inside to where you would kind of not see that gap or the connecting piece. And I would
Yeah.
also I would normally put something in there to kind of hide it as well. But well, Bjorn,
that's what,
there's a whole bunch. There's a bunch of different options about how you can do walls, but it's whatever you're comfortable with, and you're going to probably have to try to figure it out after a couple of tries to see what works best for you.
Yeah.
We also got a question here from Ian about what sort of paint do you guys use on the phone?
So I use acrylic, and sometimes I mix it with Mod Podge to create kind of a really hard top coat.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do a
But-
black paint with a Mod Podge and do a base coat.
Yeah.
If you do enough coats, then you can spray paint it, but sometimes it'll still want to get through a little bit.
Yeah.
And for me, I use the actual what's the name for it? It's basically the drywall putty.
Like this, like spackle type stuff.
Yeah, spackle, and that's what I use to basically make. I don't know if you guys have seen. Like, I have there's some texture to it.
Yeah.
Use it for the ground and for the walls, and you can kind of go crazy with it a little bit, and actually make you can have it smooth if you want to, or you can make it rough, and kind of textured looking, and basically it's just a lot of experimentation about however you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I added some real small rocks to mine, and sometimes I add sand to it too as well, and it just creates that texture that you see.
Yeah, it's pretty much whatever works for you, pretty much. Hey, Will.
I don't
Hey,
lime.
thanks for watching. Good show this afternoon. I watched a lot of
Yeah.
it while I was messing around with this thing. I pretty much
Native
will
Vine?
use that spackle, and the spackle that I get at Walmart, it's like, I don't know, $7-8, something like that, but it's pink, but it dries. It
Dries
turns
white.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'll use that, and then I
I've used that too.
I hand paint my whole thing, and so where I haven't got to the point yet where I've sprayed anything, but I probably will, because it's probably a little bit faster. But I pretty much hand paint with a brush the whole thing, and then usually I go over with it a couple of times with a couple of different colors before I sort of get it the way I want to. But I mean, it's like I said, it's whatever works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, the drywall putty or tile grout that Defiant mentions too, that can work too. So
yeah, pretty much. MCR.
And MCR here's got a question about a mix of chalk, PVA glue, and paint.
I have used PVA glue and sand as well too. I've not used chalk though.
I have not used sand or anything like that. I feel like for what I do, that putty, the spackle works. But I will say this: it's expect to get some of it all over the place, even after it dries, because as more figures and structures and stuff get on top of it, you'll sort of rub some of the stuff off there. And to me, since mine is like mostly brown, for the most part, I don't mind seeing some white or something in there because it actually adds a little bit to it, But that's just my opinion. But so here's a shot with you got a poster on the comic book shop.
Yeah, I used that's card size. It's a card sleeve. There's a piece of Velcro on the back of that, and so I can pull it off, swap it out. I could turn it horizontal. And I wanted to have posters up, but I didn't want to have any that I would have to keep forever. I thought, oh, this might allow me to change things up.
Right.
Yeah. Recently, I took a picture. I'd asked FigPix if I could use a picture he took of Luke Skywalker to print out and hang up, and so in some of my recent posts, I've got a picture from FigPix that I've put up there into that sleeve.
Yeah, it looks good, man. I like it. I've loved the idea about your comic shop, and I love seeing how it's changed, and I can't wait to see it getting to its final version. If you have a final version of it,
Yeah, I keep thinking of things to do, and just little things to add, and eventually I'm kind of working towards my earliest memory of going to a comic shop was kind of in this strip mall type area, and I can remember other stores being in there, and I'd like to do kind of a sci-fi strip mall, and so the next project I think will be a donut and coffee shop next to it.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm sure you're. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, I'm sure your comic book store employees would appreciate a coffee and donut shop next door. So
yeah,
when they need snacks and caffeine to help them keep going.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, TImbo, have you thought about it? Orange Julius, maybe?
Yeah. That could be a possibility too, and kind of a center area in the mall. I'd like to have kind of an old mall that's maybe struggling. Maybe there's a couple of abandoned store kind of buildings. So just I've got some plans
a
here.
Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
What about a disc jockey?
Oh, there you go. I was going to say a
Disc
Blockbuster Video that's out of business, but
and then you need your food court, right? Did you guys ever have Corn Dog 7 or Sbarro's Pizza?
We had hot dog on a stick.
Sbarro's.
Oh, you got a hot dog on a stick?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Cool.
Funny story. There was about an hour away from me. We had it was probably one of the. It was a mall. This old mall when I was a kid, like probably, we went to when I was probably 7, 8, 9 years old or whatever. They had an Orange Julius in there, like you were talking about, and they actually had a Chick-fil-A in there, like an old school Chick-fil-A, like way back in the day. And so it's kind of funny when I tell people like, yeah, there was a Chick-fil-A, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. I say it's not like anything like it was, like it is now, as far as like the growth of it or whatever. I said that was the only place I ever knew of a Chick-fil-A was in the mall,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think you should add some more shopping next to it.
Yeah.
I think Jackson. Wait, his name is Jackson, right? Jackson, whatever. Yeah. I think he's like one of the perfect guys for you to have in the comic shop because it's almost like he just fits like he works there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and he was introduced to Star Wars by a comic,
right?
So So he's always trying to peddle his first appearance to people. So
does he sign them?
Yeah, he'll sign them. That's his recommendation all the time. So
funny. I saw him at Ollie's a couple weeks ago, and I almost pulled the trigger on him. I had a couple of things I had to get, but I was like, I know he'll be there in a couple of weeks, and he is. I'll get him when I come back because
Yeah, he's a fun figure. I think I mean, I got him pretty cheap. So, I mean, some of the prices on Black Series figures is like half the price of like TVC figures. So,
yeah, I know,
I
yeah.
like finding some of the deals, you know, $5-10.
Mm.
Or dollar Boba Fett.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, mine was $2.30, but yeah, a dollar.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's super cheap, super cheap. Um, yeah, I just like the fact that um most of the characters that they're putting in there, you know, I like the bounty hunters and the Greedo and stuff like that. Ahsoka.
Yeah, I
It's
think I'm kind of
future.
creating kind of a loose backstory that, you know, there's maybe some kind of rift in time that, you know, every once in a while, you know, there might be prequel characters that show up. Or sometimes
You
there
know,
might be, you know, Mando type characters. So just you never know who's going to show up. So
I could see this being a comedy sitcom, and then whenever the door opens and somebody like walks through, and it's like not somebody they expect or something, you'd hit the laugh track. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, um, you know, it's like whatever, you know, such and such character comes through, and they're like, "What? What's he doing here?" You know, he's like, "Came to get my comics," you know, and so, um, I mean, anybody, even the kids love this store, you know.
yeah. Yeah, I decided I would get that crew. They were only like $1 or something at Meyer. So I was
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, it'd be kind of fun to have like a group of kids in there. And
Well,
so
you
there's
got to
not,
have kids in the comic book store. I mean, I
yeah.
think that's
Yep.
where most of us sort of found it, you know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Hey,
that's what
Tim.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Have you thought about giving it its own page, its own
Um,
Instagram page?
briefly crossed my mind, but yeah, it, I just didn't know if I wanted to, when I was thinking about that, do a page for it, or if I'm going to do a mall, do a page for the mall.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah,
And
that
I don't have a name for the mall yet. So the comic shop, I'm calling it Jackson's Issues. So
okay. Nice, nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would be an interesting. I would definitely follow that page for sure. You know, you
yeah,
get that, you put that on there. I think that would be a good follow, man. Um,
yeah, I'll have to keep thinking about that. I have considered that. There's the Fig Picks picture.
oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, I like the little Godzilla up on
Mhm.
top of the rack. Now, is that a Mando that you customized?
Yes. Yep. That's
Nice,
yep.
nice
Um,
work.
yeah. Thank you. I
Yeah, I
I
like
tried to
the
make that one
artwork. Really pops.
a chiss. Is that how you say that? The race, you know, the
Mhm.
Thrawn
Oh yeah,
race.
the Thrawn
Yeah.
race. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
Good job, man. That's it's really good. I like that. I love to see people's customs and stuff. And that one's like that's really good because I like to steal ideas from people. Um, you
yeah,
Borrow.
know,
It's borrow.
borrow.
We don't steal from each other. We just borrow
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah,
we all steal from everybody, but it's like, yeah, that's a
Oh yeah.
really good idea.
yeah.
I
I
like
got the ideas for the colors from him. From I love drinking Grape Crush, and so the can
nice.
has like some different purples, and so
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So MCR's here asking about how you do your photo prints.
is that the for the poster or the comics?
Uh, Probably both, I would guess.
Yeah, just it's a yeah copier printer with normal ink. And there's the shop finally got some TVC figures in. So and coincidentally there was a robbery at the HasLab. So
Oh.
yeah, I see with my eyes that there might be a HasLab figure there.
yeah,
Um,
there's a few there.
yeah, yeah, nice.
I'm
Now,
trying to kind of create. I'm trying to create some stories like that, and then there's going to be another story I'm going to be working on. That's going to be kind of a heist of some kind of Imperial barracks where the Imperial officer is a comic collector, and Jackson is going to hire, here TImbo to take a crew and go and raid this Imperial officer's quarters for some special comic book that he has.
nice, nice. Do
Now, have you got
you?
any Landos in there?
Any what?
Any Lando Calrissians in
No,
there
no,
in your TBC figures?
no, not
Now,
yet.
the action figures you have in your comic book shop, do you jack up the price like all the rest of the guys do?
Yeah, Jackson. Yeah, he does.
Nice,
Well,
nice.
if it's like what we used to have to do back in the day to get action figures to sell in the store, we'd have to go to like Toys R Us, buy them, then bring them back to the store and mark them up to
Yeah,
make a profit on them. So,
right,
Yeah.
pretty much. Um,
oh,
okay.
nice.
Yeah, I like the fact that not only do you have like the little TBC figures, but you also have the vehicle boxes as well. Um,
Yeah.
and the Funkos, are those the ones they sell like at Target?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
that's a good idea for those.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they had some Star Wars ones, and those. The cool thing, if you buy a 4-pack of those, it comes with that shelf, and so
oh yeah,
I just painted it brown, and so it just made a perfect kind of display place. I think I can also pull those pops out and put in like different Black Series helmets. So if I wanted to, change it up.
nice, nice.
So, Defiant's got a question for you here about what you're selling on eBay. When
Yeah,
you're selling some of these,
I haven't yet. I don't know.
fair
Doing
enough.
some of
Probably
it.
harder to do. It's probably harder to do in 1/18th than I'm sure than in 1/12.
Yeah, it does shrink things down quite a bit, and some of the stuff like the figures they may look okay with 1/18th. They're pretty small, but
Ned B, and that's one of them
Mhm.
that you customized as well, right? Didn't you?
yeah, I just did like several washes and then some dry brushing on like the metal parts, just
Nah.
to it's just really bright yellow when you get a new one. The
Oh
same
yeah,
way, yeah, the same way with like the 1/18th scale ones too. Um, but
yeah.
that's a figure that's really dropped in price. I mean, it's
Oh
almost
yeah, yeah.
under
I was gonna say,
$10.
$12 or something like that, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think on Amazon it's close to
Yeah.
$10 or
Yeah.
$12, something like that. So
And it's a really good robot. Even I mean it's 1/12 scale, but it's like even for if you just use him as a bigger robot or maybe took his head off and put a different head on there, he would be like a great bigger droid, for 1/18th, if you could work him in
yeah,
there or something for the price. I mean, it's cheaper than a
Oh, yeah.
collection figure,
maybe repaint it or something. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
plus,
yeah,
wasn't he supposed to be like a cargo loader or something like that?
yeah, yeah. He
So
just
sometimes cargo is big. You need a bigger
It's
yeah,
true.
loader to pick it up. Yeah.
It's true.
yeah. I've
Yeah,
been
droids
trying
and
to. I've
aliens
been
you can fudge.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Robots, creatures, and celestial beings, in my opinion, get
Yes.
to cheat on scale.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I agree. I agree. Uh so you even have is that gum or candy? I can't really
It's
tell.
both. There's gum and candy there. So
Man, I tell you, this is almost turning into a comic book shop like I used to go to.
yeah, I've been
It's so
Yeah.
trying to pay attention to like the comic shops that I go to, like not trying to be creepy, but like take pictures of like the counters and just to
Mhm.
kind of remember all the stuff that's on the counters. It's not just an empty counter; it's usually cluttered with candy and little things. So just trying
Trading
to
cards. And
do some of
okay.
that. Yeah,
I've got a suggestion for you. Either Marvel trading cards, so
oh
Don,
yeah,
or Magic the Gathering packs you can have in there or something like that, under the counter.
Yeah, yeah, it's
No,
actually
we
a
used
really
to
good
have
idea.
both.
I might have to try and make some of those. I think I could have some fun with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Um,
MCR's got a
Slim
suggestion.
Jims,
Slim
yeah.
Jims.
yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
What about comic book guy? Have him make an appearance?
Oh yeah, from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have checked that figure out a few times, so he may be coming. So
did they make that in an ultimate figure, or is it going to be in the 5-inch sort of size that Walmart's selling?
well, they in the old figures they had one that I think is the 1/12 scale.
Okay. Okay.
It should
'Cause I
be
just
pretty close. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
I just noticed yesterday. I noticed I went to Walmart and they had the bigger Simpsons figures than versus the smaller ones they do at uh, Target.
yeah. You can find on eBay too. They have actually have the comic book guy, and he actually has like a little comic book shop that his
Neat.
figure sits in and like makes he has some of his sayings that he says. But
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you definitely have lots of options that you can add to this.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Uh,
Well, I think one of the things that makes it fun for me is there are some like you guys I know sometimes collect different like Marvel Legends, um, Alien, some of those other scales and or
Mm.
other IPs. You can kind of for me I could bring them into the comic shop and like I picked up the Lost in Space, the 2-pack with the robot and Will and
right.
Oh,
um,
nice.
yeah, it was kind of a fun pickup. The robot's a really cool figure.
Now,
Yes.
is that
Yeah.
the classic one or the newer one?
The new one. It's based
Oh,
off
okay.
the new Netflix series.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
both of them are cool robots. Yeah, just
Yeah,
was curious.
You definitely, since it's a 1/12, you've definitely got a lot of um, different lines that you can use for whatever.
yeah, yeah. I've been eyeing some alien figures, some Xenomorph warriors at Walmart. I'm waiting for them to go on clearance.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Um, okay. So is that an actual? Well, it's not an actual, but that's a cash register, right? Is that what a cash? Is that a cash
yeah,
register?
it's
Okay.
cash register. Yeah, it's a metal cash register. Drawer opens on it. It's
Huh.
got like a
Really?
little crank, little keypad. Actually, had found that at
Nice.
an antique store.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it
That's
a perfect color. Like I didn't paint it or anything. It was kind of in that color, and I thought it just matches, what I'm going for, and so and the counter. I think I've maybe mentioned it before. The counter was a kit that I had found on Etsy that I had to build.
hmm
I really wanted like an L-shaped counter like that, so I could put stuff in it, and so
It looks really good, Tim. I mean, the whole thing looks great.
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
So
Thank you.
MCR's got a question here. I'm assuming he means about the xenomorphs. Are you talking about the Leonard ones, or is it a different brand at
Um,
Walmart?
I'm not sure. It might be the Leonard brand. Um,
Okay.
I think right now they're around like $34 to $35.
Oh, that's too pricey for Leonard, I'm pretty sure.
Are you talking about the Nika ones?
It might be, yeah.
They're
Yeah, that
like
sounds about their
Yeah.
price range.
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
good sized.
yeah, I think that's Nika, and yeah, those are expensive. For the I'll say expensive, like a little bit more expensive than they're a lot more expensive than the Leonard figures, but yeah, that's about right for those type. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
hold on, let me go back.
But he's also saying you need a Ferengi store owner for, I'm assuming, one of your shops because
A
we
Ferengi, what
want to
is
push
that?
Jackson.
Star
Oh, it's
Trek.
from Star Trek. They're like the ultimate capitalist race.
Okay.
So
Basically, Did you ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the mayor, not the mayor,
the
the
principal.
principal, yeah, the
Yeah,
principal,
I know what you're
one
talking
of the principals was the guy who played the Ferengi in Star Trek.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, useless information there. You're welcome. So these are your vintage collection action figures that you've got selling in there.
Yes. Yep. Those are the ones I made. So made
They look
quite
awesome.
a few of
Mhm.
them. So yeah, they seem to work for what I was wanting to do. I'd love to be able to put them on pegs on like a shelf type thing. So I'm kind of dreaming about that and how
Right.
to, make something like that work. Right now I've got them on that little shelf that I'd actually made that out of some different wood pieces and dowel
Okay.
rods. I made it for comics, but the comics I said on it didn't look real well. So the figures actually fit on it perfectly. So have a lot of
Awesome.
happy accidents sometimes with
Yeah.
world building.
There you go.
So, but
Yeah,
but
they
yeah,
look
I'm pretty happy how they came out. Like I really wanted them to have kind of that bubble. And so
Oh yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Well, the bubble is just classic. If you like grew up in anywhere from the 70s to the 90s through the
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
2000s,
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That is going to be, I think, the end of the comic book shop. And so you had a couple of double-sided pieces that you were working on that I guess are these on your eBay page or
Yeah.
yet?
Yep.
Okay.
Got a couple of those on there. The ones you're showing right now are on there available. So, I think you've maybe got a couple of mine, Brian, but when I do a diorama, I love to actually got one of them right here, but, I love to, make it double sided.
Yeah.
And so, you've got this side, and then if you get tired of that, you can, swap it over and you've got, just a different side to, go with whatever you're doing. So, have a lot of fun making those. And if people don't have a lot of room, they only take up about an inch or an inch and a half. Like they're pretty slim, and so you can put it on a shelf and like push it up against the wall, and
Yeah.
you've got
I
the
do
start
I
of.
do have one of them, and it's a I think the one I have is like a double piece to where it's like got
Yes.
two of them, and basically, it's great. Like you said, it's probably about an inch or inch and a half, maybe two at the most, that will take up the space from whatever you want to put it against. I I had to sort of figure out where I wanted to put mine, and it's found its home where it's at. It's basically if you see a piece of blue, bright blue coloring in a wall, in my photos or whatever, it's going to be that one. One side of it is gray, um, and the other side of it is like the tan and blue. And sometimes I flip it around, and I use it as I put it on the other side of my setup and use it like as pretty much a hallway or
Yeah.
an alleyway or something like that. It has multiple uses of it. Even if you just don't want to put it as something on a backdrop or something.
Yeah, and I've been trying to build these too that they're somewhat scale agnostic. So they go with there's not any doors or windows that make it so it only fits one scale. So they go well with both 118 and 112. So, but I've always
They
had a
do.
lot of fun building these. So
Yeah, I like I said, I definitely I had to figure out mine.
hey,
Sure, family.
family.
Let me hit the button. We're just going to rewind back to the front of the show.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, good stuff. And I'm sure if people saw my Instagram today, all the little pieces that I had in there, I got from you within, I guess, the past couple of weeks or something. I am extremely behind as far as like shouting out to people that I've got stuff from. I would say even the past couple of months, just because
I
it's like
understand.
once I get things sort of set up and everything, I just kind of roll with it. And sometimes I'm not the best person of thanking people, and I still have a lot of shots and stuff that I took of stuff before I just went ahead and started using it. And I'm like, well, I've got a plan to do that, but it's just I'm terrible at that type of stuff. But basically, my thanks is showing it off in my world and stuff like that, sort of. But anyway. But yes, go to Tim's eBay, and he has all kinds of good stuff there. Like I said, I got into. I wanted some more barrels, like he has in that picture there, and some boxes and stuff like that, because that type of stuff is for me. It's critical for me to world build, because you can have figures and you can have a diorama or something like that, but you got to have pieces that go in it. It's like his comic book shop that he's doing. Not only does he have comic books in there, but now he has the action figures he's selling. He's got gum and candy, and you just got to keep on messing with it to really complete it. You know what I'm saying? To make it look like it's lived in.
Yeah, you gotta have that kind of background stuff that people may not notice, but you notice when it's kind of like not there.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, sure. And for me, if somebody's out there just starting, you can always kind of just make up a backdrop or something, or do something like that to put it together. But it's like,
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for coming out. But you can put that stuff in there, and it just really, it just really makes it, it sort of sets it off and adds to it.
I think this is what Defiant's talking about. I have some these power generators here that I make. I've actually got a couple. I'm working on a couple or a few more space junk sets, so I just need to make some things to go with these. But I'll have these available soon too as well. But these are always a lot of fun to make. The power generators. So
I've got a couple generators. I got a couple generators on Yamato 6, and let me tell you, they have got a lot of mileage. For my area, I mostly sort of use it as, a day-to-day type of world where people have to work and stuff like that. And I'm not saying you made any shoddy power generators, but they're always working on those things. Okay. It's like, they're always working on them for some reason.
Always needing some maintenance, huh?
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the Jawas. Maybe stealing from them. Maybe
check your crew. Check your crew.
Yeah, maybe you're overtaxing them, and you need to add more generators so it doesn't put as much of a load on the ones you have.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's what I need to do. Add more land to my my little strip right here. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
I'm here to help enable.
Oh yeah, we're all great enablers for each other. Actually, that's one thing we are. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, that's going to be it for Suffer Timbo. Is there anything else that you want to shout out or anything while we're still talking about that?
I've got some really cool customs that are coming from Zilla. Him and I are doing a trade, and I don't have them yet. I think tomorrow I might be getting those, but he's been working on a crew for me that will be part of that story of stealing that comic from the Imperial.
Thanks,
Imperial.
Josh.
So, yeah. Hey, Josh. Like, really excited for those customs. So,
although Josh, we're not done yet, so don't go leaving just yet. There's still more show to come.
So yeah. So are you still working on your 1/18 stuff?
Yeah.
Is Pickles still alive?
Who's that?
Pickles? Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Captain Moonraker and Pickles, they're doing well. So
right. All right. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so Joel, so you are heading a project this October. You wanna talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So I got called out by my son. He basically said I had too much stuff, and he does a thing called Inktober, where he draws a picture each day of October and posts it. And he says, I have a challenge for you. What about if you do the same thing with custom action figures? And so I took him up on his challenge, and then I started planning and I started talking to you guys. And Brian, you seemed really interested in it, and Bjorn seems interested in it. And I think people, I don't know if everybody's going to do 31, which is a lot, but I think people are going to try to do it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, when you first started talking about it, I was like, I've kind of been doing some stuff sort of low key, I guess, some stuff in the background. I've just kind of felt like I've just been kind of going through the motions, kind of not really. I've got like a design that I kind of want to do with Yamato 6, and so that when you told me that, I'm like, okay, great. I can pause that for right now. I can work on that in my mind a little bit as I work on this. And so pretty much I've just been like, I've paused everything for the most part. And I'm like, this is something that I want to, take part in. I've got probably, I can't tell you how many custom figures I have just laying around, and I have posted a lot of those, but, some of those I have not, and some of those I'm like, for me, a custom is just a simple head swap, and I'm gonna say that's what a custom will be potentially for me at the least is just a kit bash or a head swap or something. But yeah, so I like that idea. I feel like it's it's gonna take off. Definitely not everyone has to do a figure every day. I mean, we're not doing figures every day, but we're gonna have a different figure, or Joel's gonna have a different figure to show off every day, because it's like we're not like madmen to where we're gonna wait one day, make a new brand new custom every day of the week for for 31 days. I mean, that's just we're not
Do
we're
we
not
do we
doing
use
that.
the hashtag Figtober, Joel?
Figtober, hashtag Figtober. Yep.
Okay.
And so our lawyers have looked it over, and they said that it's we can do it. We can do it. We can use that. We can use that hashtag. I searched Figtober before, right when we were talking about this, and so there's not really anybody doing it. So
Sweet.
we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of, when you search Figtober, there's like artists that have done like characters and stuff like that, but they've like painted or drew them or something. But there's not like custom action figures that at least when I searched like a month ago. So
Yeah, same thing. I think those were probably related to the Inktober
probably
because they
yeah,
looked very.
yeah.
It looked like it pulled up kind of the same thing.
Right. So this picture here, I just pulled up a couple pictures. This one is a lot of your emissaries, right?
Yeah, this is all of my emissaries. I think there are. This is right before Pirate sent me two. So
Gotcha.
I just barely today set up a new shot. I had to move it because they started falling off the front of the platform.
Hmm.
So I had to move them to a bigger landing area so they had more room.
There's your
So I just
Figtober right
barely.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, none of these are mine. Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think
Yeah.
any of these are mine.
Most of those figures you got from sending out your Gamorrean Guard statue, right?
Yes, not all of them,
Right.
but most of them. Some of them I've traded other figures for. Some of them people have just sent me,
Right.
but a lot of them have been for as a trade emissary. So I sent out a Gamorrean Guard to them, and they sent me back a trade emissary.
Yep.
Nice.
And then I just took
Force paint figure.
because we were talking about custom figures and stuff like that, and there's a lot of variety in this post right here of stuff. So yeah, so pretty much I just took a couple pictures, just to kind of show people, kind of like what you could potentially do or whatever. And pretty much, Joel Thun
That's neat.
is an artist, and
That's
what
cool.
is his Instagram, Joel?
His Instagram is artwork of Van Williamson,
Right.
and
And
I try to tag him a lot. So if you
Um,
follow me, you should see me tag him. I tagged him yesterday.
right. He's if I don't know if how many people are familiar or not, but basically, when he first started, he was doing the Star Wars characters as musicians. Is that what he started with?
He does a lot of musicians. His idea last year for Inktober was like the damned orchestra. So it
Yeah.
was basically 31 drawings playing some kind of instrument. He
Right.
does do Star Wars, a lot of Star Wars playing instruments as well. This one that you're showing right now, that's actually 1/4 of a painting that he
Right.
did for. I believe this one was for May the 4th be with you at a gallery in Salt Lake.
Yes.
Is that like 3D, Joel?
Yeah, he does his stuff is layers and layers. So he'll like draw stuff and then he'll like have it cut out and it'll be like stacked. And if you look
Yeah,
at it
that's
from
cool.
the side, it's
Yeah, it's really good
it's
stuff.
pretty thick. Yeah.
So
Now,
you
is that
guys-
a Death Star disco ball there in the background?
Yeah,
Up at the
probably.
top.
I think I don't know if it's a disco ball. I mean, it might be. I'll have to ask him. He's got so many little subtle things that, like you just pointed that out. I've looked at this thing 100 times, and I've never seen it. There's so many little.
Oh yeah,
little
well, I mean, just in
references.
the border that he's got around it has a very kind of like almost like Aztec temple, but
Mhm.
Star Wars iconography in it,
Mhm.
sort of look.
Yeah,
Very
MCR
cool.
a few minutes ago said cool IG unit art, and I was like,
Oh, yep.
that's not IG on there.
Yeah, it took me a minute to
Yeah.
spot it too.
I said, oh wait, yes, it is IG on there. I just noticed that right there.
And then there's an Ewok on top of him.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't bring 4 pictures of this in here. I just basically grabbed this one to show that Joel did make a custom.
I didn't make this. We worked on it together.
Okay. So basically, this is the guy, right?
That's
from
cool.
this picture right here. So
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
a work of art come to life.
What is that he's holding? Is that a head?
That's
Yeah, I
he's
think
eating
so.
some chilled Ewok brains.
Okay.
That's his delicacy. So instead of like chilled monkey brains from Indiana Jones,
Mhm.
his thing is he likes chilled Ewok brains.
Oh wow, man.
See, now
Joel,
something like to recreate something like this might tempt me to actually buy some Ewok figures just to
Yeah.
have them served up.
is a big Indiana Jones fan, and a Evil Dead fan as well. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, I think
Your son's a great artist, Joel.
yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a couple pieces of his son's art, and I'll sometimes like I'll see something that he posts. I'm like, I'm gonna grab that, just to be nice and help out and do stuff like that, because I hope that that people will do that stuff for my kids and stuff too at a certain point.
Does he sell his art on Instagram?
He doesn't. He has a website, but if you send him a message, he will absolutely sell.
Okay.
He's mailed all over, so he'll do commissions. He'll do whatever.
It's his art, I think, is fantastic. There's I'm trying to think what anyway, so I saw this one thing and I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably grab that thing or whatever. And so I noticed it was sold. I was like, okay, all right, well, I guess I'll have to pull the trigger on it a little bit sooner next time when I see something, because clearly I was not the only person that thought that it was cool. It was some kind of like a musician or something, but it was like a blue wizard or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, well, anyway.
He did like a good and evil wizards, guitar wizards.
Yeah.
He found this book in the library that was like just called Guitars, and it had like all these different guitars through that people had used, and he used those and made a wizard playing that guitar. And then on his YouTube page, he put up a playlist of what that guitar sounds like, so you can kind of get a feel for it.
Cool.
Yeah,
But
definitely go
it's
check.
It's
really
multimedia
cool.
experience. Yeah.
Go check out his page and give him a follow. And so anyway, so yeah, I think this might be the last picture. Yeah. So that's the last picture of the chat, or the not chat, but the our guest. But so yeah, so Figtober starting October 1st.
And I would start now. Start as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But now people can post older customs, right? Like, say I did a custom last month or 2
So
months ago.
ideally for Figtober is 31 new customs that no one has ever seen. That's the ideal.
Okay.
But you can do whatever you want. Like, use the hashtag, put old stuff in, put new stuff in. You can do 31. You can do one. I was thinking maybe next year we could start doing prompts. Like for Inktober, they have a prompt every day, and we could do
Mhm.
something like that. And so you're like, well, prompt for October 16th is cowboy. So I don't have time to make anything, but I'm going to make a cowboy custom for October 16th. But for this year, it's wide open. Post your old stuff, post your new
Yeah.
stuff, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Okay,
Really
it's,
cool
it's,
idea.
Stuff people haven't seen. So
it's basically even if you don't really make a lot of customs or something like that, just to potentially maybe make one. You know what I'm saying? If you've never done it, just to kind of dip your toe into it, and it doesn't have to be, super elaborate or anything. Like I said, I consider a kit bash a custom.
Mhm.
It's,
Oh yeah,
it's
most mine
know,
are part swaps with
yeah.
as little paint as I can get away with.
Swapping a head, with a different character sometimes is all you need,
Mhm.
to make it different. So, yes, I am doing this as well, and I'm going to do 31 as well. I've got a couple of them that I have made, but as par for the course for me, I'll probably wait until the last weekend before I really get started into it, just to make it harder for myself, because I like to do stuff like that. But I'm definitely going to. I'll have 31. They may not be, any real bangers or anything like that, but there may be a few good ones to come out. And mostly it just kind of gets you into the mindset of just creativity. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
Plugging in pieces here and there just to see what something looks like, and you might come out with a new favorite character, that's for your world. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just don't ever know.
Yeah. I think
but-
Brian, that one custom you did a while back, that I think it was an Obi-Wan body with a Mando head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that one. I thought that turned out really cool.
Yeah, that's
That
one
was
of my
just
favorites.
a head swap, wasn't it?
You talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
to bring you up.
He actually has legs from Axe Woves.
Okay.
I took legs from Axe Woves, but pretty much yes, just a head swap, and I did change out the hands, but yeah, the legs are from Axe Woves. And I will say this funny story is I have the 1/18th world or whatever, but as like a lot of people, I started back into this with 1/12 stuff, and so I got one of those Black Series Obi-Wans, and I put a Death Watch head on it, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks cool, you know? And so I didn't change his legs or anything like that. I'm like, well, if they ever, if they ever make a vintage figure like that, I think I'll probably definitely know what I'm going to do. And then they eventually made that 3-pack. And so I'm like, okay. And so I swapped the head and the hands. And like I said, luckily that Obi-Wan body has the, I guess the ball joint legs. So pretty much all the Mandos have the ball joints or, that they'll just plug into the peg. And so luckily it fit, and to me it's been one of my favorite custom / kit bashes, and that's basically who I consider Mando, the Mandalorian, pretty much of Yamato 6, right? Like I do have the Mandalorian, of course, the figure, and you'll see him occasionally, but for my Yamato 6, that guy is like the real Mando. And so anyway, just kind of a fun thing I do with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I have him basically being Den in my Yamato 6, and I'll have him usually about once every 2 or 3 months or so. I'll make a post and I'll be like, chapter such and such, and it's has a little quick story about it. And anyway, it's something I was kind of wanting to do. And anyway, it's I kind of, like I said, I kind of like him, and it just kind of worked just by just popping heads off, and so it gave me an idea. And so that's what, you can, we can all do too, is just, like I said, just trying out stuff to see what fits, and so, anyway, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What did Bjorn just say? Okay.
He was talking about he's got the Judge as his Mando.
That's a cool figure.
Or the Yamato 6 Mando that Hasbro made.
I like that guy a lot. I like that guy a lot. And he is, for my world, they're mostly just regular Mando. They're just the Mandalorians from Yamato 6. They're not really any named character. And so I'll adjust them a little bit from whenever the was it the Shriek Hawk team comes out, or is that what it is?
Yeah, that one should be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah,
the 4-pack.
Yes.
Yeah, the 4-pack.
So I'll add those kind of to that. I have a lot of the different Mandalorians like everybody else, but for me, the ones that kind of are like the hodgepodge put together, armors and stuff like that are kind of my favorites. Just because of the world. But all right, Joel. So anything else that we need to know about?
So I'm gonna show you my box.
Yep.
This is my Figtober box.
All right.
Figtober goodness.
Nice.
So I just started putting together like packets of parts. So I came up with my ideas, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to use this body for this. Well, what head am I going to use? And if I find the head I'm going to use, I throw that in the box. What accessories? I'm going to throw that in the box. So
nice.
I started doing that, and I had to plan it out just so I can stay on top of it.
That's the smart thing to do. That's the smart thing to do, is to actually plan and study before you have the test, instead of the night before.
Yeah, and then I made my list, and then I decided, well, I'm going to put my list in order, because I'm working on like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Once I put my list in order, it's like, well, if I start at number 1 and get it finished, I don't want to be working on 28 and then not have like 2 through 7 done.
Yeah.
So
organization. I've actually got, like, in my mind kind of an idea of, like, I'm going week to week, right? So before October 1st gets here, I'm going to try to have like my first week's worth of figures, because let me tell you, once October gets here, those days are going to fly.
It's going fast.
Yep.
It's going fast.
And if you have kids, or if you don't have kids, but you've got a job and
you got
rest of your life, that you have to deal with, there's not a whole lot of time to work on customs every day. So
Do you guys
Or
do you guys work on
the-
your customs like in the evening, late at night, morning?
I
usually
personally,
weekends.
it's always evening. Like for me, I normally get off work sometime anywhere from like 3 to like 4, and so I'll usually get home about 15 minutes later after that. And usually my wife doesn't get home till like 7, and so I'll usually come home then. And if I hadn't had a hard day or whatever, or if I'm not doing something with the kids or whatever, I will come in here and potentially just try to get hands on something and try to get started on something. It's definitely not every day for me, but usually it's in the evening and it is weekends for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I work on mine usually before she gets home from work. I get off like an hour and something before she does. And then she goes to bed like 2 or 3 hours before me. And so then I just have the rest of the evening to do that. But when I
Um,
first told her about Figtober, she just said, "I'll see you in November." So she's good natured about it.
it's a good idea. I think that's a cool idea. That
Mhm.
Especially for world building.
Yeah, because it not only does it help, to sort of, I won't want to say train your brain or whatever, but to get some creative juices flowing. But I mean, you can actually potentially be thinking out stories, for people who world build or such, stuff like that. And even if you don't world build, I mean, it may, lead to that. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you do it. I know,
Yeah,
Bob,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're
say
you're on the docket next to start, so you know.
Yeah, although I know I had posted a while back that I was going to do like start world building my Star Wars world or Star Wars world for Star Wars figures, but I may wait on that until the cantina comes out because I want to turn that into like an entertainment district, like
Right.
break it all apart and rearrange it and whatnot. So I may do some building block world building first because doing this Snake Mountain project lately is gotten me back in the bug for that. So
Well,
I think we
you
lost Tim.
you do maybe not exactly customs, but you definitely part swap on your figures.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's not you don't. I mean, technically, you don't.
that's a custom.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
In my book, that is customizing. Yeah,
you don't have to add paint to anything. To make it a
uh,
custom.
I paint to some where it's needed. Like I repainted it. I wanted like a Zabrak character, but not Darth Maul. So I like
Mhm.
took one of his heads because like all the other Zabrak heads just look goofy. They're all like baring their teeth and stuff. And I just wanted something with a nice neutral expression
Right.
without any hair.
Yeah.
So took Darth Maul's head and repainted that.
Yeah. That's
Actually, he's on the he's like
Yeah,
right
that's one
here
of
on
my
the shelf.
favorite guys that
Here
you've
he
done
comes.
is that guy right
Yeah,
there.
this dude. Yeah, yeah. He
You know,
turned out
and the
he's like a
ones
character that I've had in my head since back in the days when I used to play Star Wars Galaxies.
mm,
And so
Yeah, that's
fine,
great.
and I've tried like different bodies to make him, but none of them look quite right. But finally, that Jedi Academy Luke body came out and had all the articulation I wanted and had the right look that I wanted. So
yeah, like I said, that one and the one Jedi that you did with the Tusken Raider body.
oh yeah, yeah. He hang on, he's right here behind me
That
as
one
well.
that was the one I was talking about really.
Oh, whoops,
Uh
he fell off the stand. But yeah, this one.
yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Oh yeah,
And
he turned out really good, and all he was just a head and hands
yeah,
swap.
it looks
The
good.
body and
Yeah.
just took some of the robes off the some of the excess robes off the.
Hey, show that other one again. Defiant was wanting to see that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This one, Corey.
That's
Yeah, my
funny that
kind of goth Jedi.
it's funny that you got him like that. When I was way back before I got married, back in the day, I used to go to clubs occasionally, and on a Halloween, it was a Saturday night or whatever. I did like a Darth Maul face paint, but instead of the
Mhm.
red, it was white and black, and so
Yeah.
and I had to, and this was like 20 something years ago or whatever. And it's like, I had to basically I did it myself in a mirror in the bathroom. And it's like, I don't know how I mean, I don't know. I guess I had action figures lying around or something. Cause I guess the internet too, I guess, but it's like, I got that all done and then, it was raining that night. So by the time I got pretty much where I was going, it was like, I don't even know if anybody
It
knew
was
who
all
that was supposed to be, but anyway, I did
yeah.
like that color.
Thank you, Defiant.
Um,
Thank you.
I did like that color combo though.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. And I like on
yeah,
this one, he's got kind of almost kind of the skull look. 'Cause,
yeah,
anybody that knows me pretty well knows I like skull and bones and
oh yeah,
stuff. Because
for sure.
Have you posted that
things.
one, Bob?
Yeah, I think I posted him a while back. And then he was also on when Pirates and Lord of Thing were doing their like custom figure
Okay,
show
that's right. Yep.
probably a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh, let's see here. Go ahead, Bob, and run it for a second. I'm responding to
Okay.
Timbo. Um,
All right. Um. So I guess Joel, any other lines besides various 1/18ths that you're into?
I like Indiana Jones, so I
Hmm.
collect the 1/12 Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
And then I have an Indiana Jones shelf on one side, and then right here I have an Ash shelf, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead.
Oh,
So
cool.
I collect as much of that as I can.
Yeah, yeah. There's not a lot out there for that, is there? Or am I just not aware of what all's out there
There,
for that?
it adds up.
Oh, okay.
It adds up. But I mean, I have like a reel-to-reel tape player on there because
Oh,
he
yeah.
played the reel-to-reel, so that fits. And
Now,
then I made
do you
it.
have a tape that has like the recording that they played?
I could do it. I could do it on this reel-to-reel, but I have it, but I don't know how to run it. So
Okay.
yeah, my brother got it at a
Uh,
yard sale, and he's like, "Do you want this?" And so it's really, really cool looking, but I don't know.
right.
I don't
It
want to
it
mess
is
it up.
old.
So
Yeah, it
it's
is
it's
old
really
old
old. Yeah,
technology. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then MCR has a question here for you. Have you done an indie diorama?
I have done an indie diorama. Yeah.
um, is that
Okay. Is that on your Instagram where MCR
It
can
has been on my
hold it?
Instagram. I could show it off. It probably wouldn't be too easy to show it off right now,
Okay.
but I will post that. I actually
uh,
made the tank from Indiana Jones and did a diorama there.
Oh, awesome.
And then I
That
did,
old like World War One style
yeah,
tank with like the
mhm.
treads that go all the way
It's like a
around the
British
body.
Mark V, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I did like a temple that's kind of a generic temple that you could put pretty much anything in. So I
Oh,
have
nice.
Indiana Jones in that, but you could use it for Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or whatever. Um,
Cool.
and then I used to somewhere I did like a minecart diorama. This was probably like 15 years ago, and the minecart would actually go down the track and jump and land.
oh my goodness,
Oh,
But
wow.
that's
but
awesome.
it's so big, and so there's just nowhere to put it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of on a shelf in storage right now. And then I
Yeah, that
have two
is
more in the works for my indie shelf.
oh cool.
So
Yeah, that's one thing I found about world building is space to put it, but still have your house be like livable.
yeah,
You know, if
Yeah,
yeah, if I didn't have to have things like a guest room and office and all that, I could just
oh
expand
yeah,
from one room to
sure.
the other. And
right.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I have a Star Wars room. That's a very big room,
Oh,
but it's
nice.
also every single wall is packed.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
move stuff
Well, I
out
mean,
because
just looking behind you there is like
my
it looks
space
packed.
station keeps expanding, and so um, I think the space station. Well, I guess I am expanding it more because I'm making a mobile part. So now I'm going out into the room as opposed to around the room. So
Yeah. Now, do
Yeah.
you? I'm guessing you have like a basement level for your house,
yes,
or is this? Oh,
yeah.
okay. See, I'm like on a slab, so it's just like a little
Hmm.
3 bedroom, 2 bath place. So like space
Yeah,
kind of starts to get limited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is a pretty big room.
I'm basically in the guest room, but there's no bed in here. It's basically my it's I guess my action figure slash just my room or whatever. Um we've got a room that goes off of the kitchen that Jennifer was going to use as like her office or whatever,
mhm.
and it's sort of turned into a sort of the kids sort of TV watching room, I guess. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know, but anyway, but I'm still keeping this room. I don't if she doesn't if she wants to run them out, she can, but I'm still keeping this room, you know. And so, and she's got a portion in our bedroom where she's making a library. We're making her a library nook,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
there to where she's got a few bookshelves, and we'll put a chair in there and a light, and she'll have like her little corner to do whatever she wants to in there. And so so we've got a little room. Um, so I'm basically going down this wall right here, and I'm just gonna go down the whole length of the wall. And I've got 4 bookshelves, little books. I say bookshelves. They're little. They're like a 4 shelf stand or whatever. They're not really a bookshelf, but I'm only going high for like 3 levels, just because the 4th level I think 4th level would be lethal for a figure to fall off of
Yeah.
and survive, because I don't have carpet in here, so and I've got acid rain figures that I do not need to fall to their death.
No,
So
no, no.
I'm basically going 3 levels high, which is about it's about maybe 3 foot, I guess, off the ground. So I feel like that's a safe, manageable distance to take a swan dive off. But I'm gonna go down the wall potentially at some point in time. Like I've got some ideas of what I want to do, and I'm just gonna keep expanding. Which is kind of cool because I never thought I'd have more than like one little small section, but it's growing, and I'm trying to let it grow organically and not just try to
Mhm.
force it. Like I got to make sure that everything I don't have any room to move before I buy another stand, and I'm buying the same stand every time, so it'll be the same height. Um, to keep moving stuff, putting stuff down. And so anyway, that's my plan right now. But anyway,
Yeah,
but
my plan is to eventually get some foam board for these shelves behind me because there's no back on them. And so when I do that, just to, one, keep figures from falling back behind the shelves because then they get to be a pain to dig out. But then also, make that like the walls, like station walls or whatever kind of walls, and then also rearrange the office so I can set up like a video shooting spot or photo spot, and then also put up like shelves wall to wall all over there to start building on. But that's
uh,
the
yeah,
long term.
you're gonna need some space for that uh, cantina.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's part of what's going on the shelves here. I'm thinking it'll probably be about 3, maybe even like 4 shelves all spread out. And then like several episodes back, Dom mentioned like putting a elevator in his spaceship, but not like a real functional one, but just like a
Right.
tube or something that, hey, this is the elevator, and we go and stand by this, and then magically we're on another floor. So putting something like that in between the stuff.
Before that, Defiant, I'll send you a link of what I'm using after I get out of here. But it's pretty much an Amazon like stand, and it's pretty much. I'll just show you, I guess, right now. But it's like $30 or something like that. But that's kind of what it looks like. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but basically, it's there. You go. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks. It's like 3 levels. It's got those little inserts that hold it up, but they screw into each other to where basically you've got one of the columns, and then it goes through the bottom piece and it screws onto the bottom piece. And you put the next level down, and it's all the tubes screw into each other, and you can adjust it to make the height. However, if you're like, I've got 4 of those, sorry, and I've had to adjust the height because even if you set them up correctly, just because of the way things are, they're not all completely level. So I've had to adjust the height, and like either by unscrewing the columns or adding something underneath the pieces of foam.
Well, anyway,
And,
just to round up on the chat here real quick. Thank you, Ian, for coming out tonight.
yes,
Bjorn would also, when you send Defiant the link, Bjorn would also like the link to your stands, and
like I said, I think
appreciates it.
At most it might be $35 or something like that, but to me it's worth it because it's like $35, and then I have a spot to put my action figures on and stand, and so that's where all the money is going to be stored on. Pretty much is that little stand, and you can use the 4th level, and probably some people will, and I'll probably be kicking myself, but I'm just using 3 levels right now. And honestly, if I could figure out a way to just get the columns, I could build me a 5th one right now if I had the extra pieces, but I don't. But yeah, I'll send you that link. But whatever works. I mean, even if I had cardboard boxes that I was putting stuff on when I first started, just to have a flat surface to be able to, to make my first little, kit bash diorama,
MCR has a question here for Joel about the 118 Indiana Jones figures.
Yeah, I love the 118. I like the figures. Some great vehicles. They have like the German truck, and they have the motorcycle. I get as many of those as I can. Like a Jeep command car kind of a thing. So yeah, I do love those figures. I wish they still made those. I wish they did those when they did the 1/12 ones this last year.
Oh
So,
yeah, me too. My dad apparently bought some of those. He buys random action figures at times, and anyway, and so I was noticing one of the last couple times I went there, he gave me like a box of stuff to take home, and they had like some G.I. Joe figures that he bought like at Dollar General or something like that, and then there were a few of the last movie that came. Well, not the last movie, but the
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes, that
I
that
thought
one.
the last movie was Last Crusade.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong, Bob. There's been 2 since then.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I'm just kidding.
I saw the Crystal Palace or Crystal Skull or whatever it was. I saw that one, but I haven't seen the new one yet. But I do have a couple of figures from that movie, and anyway, and I think didn't they make like figures from the other movies on that line as
Huh?
well?
Yeah,
Okay.
2008 they came out with, and they made stuff from all the movies. So
Because I think I've got one of the guys from the Crystal Palace, whatever, and then I think I have the the guy with the black robes that gets shot.
Oh yeah,
okay,
the sword guy from Cairo.
the
Yeah,
swordsman, yeah.
I think one of him. I think I'm not sure, but anyway, I've yet to bust those out and do anything with those yet.
Well, if they're taking up too much space, I know where you can get rid of them.
I know the right guy to set them to. But yeah, so anyway, well, all right. Well, Bob, is there anything that you want to shout out or anything?
Yeah, just put a new video up on the channel this week. So it's about this place called Super Blue down in Miami. It's this kind of immersive / interactive digital art exhibit kind of thing that I thought was really cool. And so I put together a little sample video, and maybe other people will think it was cool too. And who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Go give it a watch, guys. Joel, what about yourself? Are you just hunkered down, ready for Figtober?
So I debated on whether or not to show one of the figs for October 1st. So I'm going to give you the world premiere.
All right, guys.
oh, hang on.
This one is going to, let me look, someplace called Yamato 7. So I'm going to show it here, and then I'm not going to show it again until October 1st. So
all right, guys. Oh,
Oh,
look at that.
neat.
Oh, wow.
so this is the Raptor de Utah. Let me get it.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So awesome.
So this is based on my Gamorrean statue,
Yes.
but in an alternate universe, a multi-universe, it's a dinosaur instead of a Gamorrean. So
Awesome. That is
Cool.
awesome.
that is October 1st.
Hey, you saw it here first, people. That is awesome. Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna tell you. So I don't want to like. I guess I want to like show. I guess or get to. You don't have to say what you have to say, but let me ask you this. So is that going to be one of your only statue customs, or are you doing?
Yes. No, that's it.
I was gonna say because man, you could probably make those in whatever format. You know what I'm saying? You probably get tired of making those, but it's like you could probably make those until you didn't want to make them anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
there's so many options of things you could do out there that it's pretty much like I said, you have lots of options that you could use that format. And you've even done a Lego version of that, right?
I did a Lego version for my son's space station. I'm going to say the name wrong. It's my son Dan has a Lego space station called Volatiga Station, and I tagged them. So it's all Lego, and so I made a Lego version of the Gamorrean statue. And then back when Adelham was still a thing, I did a Gamorrean statue with the pig head for him. And then I don't know if you remember Kila Kawaii.
Yes.
She likes frogs, so I sent her a frog Gamorrean statue.
Yeah, I do.
And then I'm trying to think if I've done
Moss Isley Photography. Send him a message, man.
Oh, yeah. Bring this back up. Yeah.
Joel will. I'm not gonna speak for him, but he'll respond to you.
yeah.
Yeah,
All it takes is an emissary from your world.
Yep. So hey, you wanna trade a figure for a statue? There you go.
It's just gonna have to wait until November.
Or October is ended.
Yeah.
For real. Like I have stopped everything. Like there's been plenty of times I was gonna like make a post about something, and a figure that hasn't been seen yet or whatever, and I'm like, nope, slowing air. I'm just stopping everything. It's like it's just going to be post, with no new characters until October. I was like, I'm not doing that.
The hardest thing for me is I do a post every day because I'm whatever. I decided when I started I'll do a post every day, and I still have to do a post every day and work on stuff. It's like, okay, this is going to be tough.
Yeah. Here's
a blurb. Okay, that's good for today.
To me, doing a post a day is like unreal, but I know some people do. I know you do it. If not every day, almost every day. And so there's times where I'll come in here and I'll just sit down and I'll just start looking, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to post? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like I'll sit in here for like an hour and a half trying to think of what I want to post, and I'm just like in my head, like, hey, I can't figure it out, and so at the end of the day, it's like all I have to do is just walk over there, pick a figure out of the shelf or the shelving unit thing, come over here and just take a picture of it and just say I'm done. That's all you have to do. But I'm so like into my head about like wanting to, have either some kind of story or a little funny little joke or something that I'll just, I'll spend it for like 2 hours and I just gotta walk away, walk away.
You almost have to be like a writer and write the situation of what you're going to put, because you're not just doing a picture.
Yeah, I was telling Jim, I was like, there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, it's like I want to be able to do that somewhat, or like if I'm really like into a figure and I want to take the picture of him, I'll do that. But most of the time, it's like I'm trying to like have something of a story related thing to it, and I'll get writer's block, man, straight up. And it's like all I'm doing is taking pictures of action figures, but I'm struggling in my head to to do that. But anyway.
See, like I run into the same problem of like, what do I post? So that's why I usually try to wait till like and just do it on the weekend. So I've got like the week to think about it. Kind of.
Yep.
Does an idea come to me? If not, okay, well here's something I just got in this week. So it.
It's it's a real thing,
Oh yeah.
But all right, well, good show. TImbo had he had to leave and go pick up his son. So
okay.
He said he wasn't gonna be able to make it back. So I'm glad that he was able to come on and talk about his 112 comic shop. It was great. I love it.
It's one of the best things out there. It's great. It's so great.
Totally agree. I mean, it's when I know that something's good, it's like when I'm like reaching out saying, hey, I may want to get a franchise of that comic shop. I'm like, I used to do 112 because it seems to work a little bit easier that way.
Well, making some of the props and like the comic books and the little figures probably does work better at like the 112 scale.
I don't know that it would work for me in the 1/18th size, but I have a ton of Black Series figures anyway, that are just in a tub sitting around. So, making a store, would probably, take some effort, but it's like all the figures, and then I'm sure I know where I can get the comics and the toys from, just get them sent from my new distributor, TImbo.
And the thing is,
distribution.
The thing is, Brian, is you don't take a picture of your whole station at once.
Right.
You take a picture of like this section. So if you take a picture of a 1/18th and then your next picture is 1/12th.
Oh yeah.
You don't even have to tell anybody that it's a different scale.
Some people probably wouldn't notice the difference.
Some people wouldn't notice. There's like Star Word. A lot of people for a long time, I don't think they knew he was 1/12th.
Right. Yep.
So
yeah, you're exactly right. And I'm not, and I'm not like, I mean, everything I post is 99% at 1/18th, but it's like I'll use 1/12th. And there's nothing wrong with it. I have like I said, I've got a crap load of it, and so I will. And I like to try to change things up for a while, and get the thing get some creative juices going. And so I think it's a very cool idea of the comic shop, and I would definitely love to see that expand to like a shopping mall and see the day-to-day interactions between the people in that shopping mall and those stores. I think it's an awesome idea. Yeah, so that's a way to go, TImbo. And then Joel, so your Figtober orders have been given. If you want to contribute to your figures of Figtober for the month of October, knock yourself out. It's not mandatory. But just for a fun little thing.
Just have fun.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes, and maybe we'll do this again next year. Maybe we'll get a little bit more streamlined and have those prompts for the figures to make. So it'll be a little bit easier than saying I gotta make 31 characters. What am I gonna make 31 characters of? Well, if you got this that says, hey, such and such, cowboy, alien, or bounty hunter, something like
Musician,
that.
sure.
Yeah, there you go. It's like it would be a little bit easier to try to manage. And nobody says you have to do 31 of them. Nobody says you have to do one of them. But for fun, let's give it a shot. But yes, when the month starts, October 1st, if you want to show off your custom, definitely use the hashtag Figtober. So that's
follow the hashtag Figtober. So you
follow the
make
hashtag.
sure you see everything. Yeah.
We're going to try to make it a thing. Hopefully, So and Joel's son is an artist, and he participates in Inktober. So he said it was fine. So we're going with that. So anyway, good show, guys. You guys have a good rest of the Sunday. We're going to go ahead and shut it down now. I appreciate everybody that came out and watched tonight in the chat, and I appreciate people that are going to do the watch later on. Appreciate you guys too. And like I said, if you got any questions about Figtober, talk to this guy. Jesus Christ. Yes. Oh my God. This guy there. Yeah.
That guy.
I'm terrible at directions. Anyway.
I know everything's all reversed with the camera. Oh, and also if you like what you've seen here tonight, feel free to give that like button a little click. It really helps
please.
out the channel.
Yeah, tell your friends too. But anyway.
Feel free to share, subscribe.
Yes. Bob, anything else?
No, I think that's it. Just thank you to everybody that came out tonight. Thank you for all those that watched the replay. We love you just as much.
That's right.
Thank you, Joel, and
thanks for having
maybe
me.
TImbo will catch the replay on us thanking him for coming out.
Yes. I'm sure that's the end of it. Yeah, Joel, we appreciate you. And we will see you guys. See you next time.